Hey, I love fresh corn as much as I love BC eggs. Check out this recipe. Hey, it's Chef Dez, corporate chef of BC Egg. Welcome to my kitchen. We're going to do a really cool new recipe, Southwestern corn fritters. If you ever had a corn fritter before, you know sometimes they can be really bad, but sometimes they can be really good. We're going to kick ours up a notch and do a Southwestern style with some jalapeno, bell pepper, and some chipotle. Let me show you how we're going to get started. So we have some fresh sweet corn. Okay, I'm going to show you how to take the kernels off there. If you're working from frozen, what I want you to do is thaw those kernels first, pat them dry really well, and then take your measurement, 1.5 cups. We're going to use fresh because right now, at the time of doing this video, it's corn season. So what I do is I chop off the bottom of the core so it can sit flat like that. It makes it a lot easier for standing it up to get the corn kernels off. And now, I do it inside a bowl because it helps to keep those corn kernels corralled from flying all over the place. And just work your sharp knife all the way down, taking the kernels off the cob. And again, what we're looking for is 1.5 cups. So I'm going to take the kernels off of 2 cobs and then measure my 1.5 cups. So now that we have our fresh corn, I'm just going to measure that 1.5 cups. There's 1.5. So there's our start. To that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of diced red bell pepper for some color. Now you notice I diced this about the same size as the corn kernels. Next, what I want you to do is take 1/2 of a jalapeno. Okay, this is 1/2 of one. Okay, I've already cut it into quarters. And what you do is you cut it into quarters, you take your knife, and what I like to do is get rid of the seeds and the membrane. That's the excess heat that a jalapeno has. Hey, if you want them really hot, leave that in. I just tap out the seeds and get rid of that. Then what I do is I cut it into little tiny strips, like so. And then line those up and small dice. Smaller than the bell pepper. And in our mixture, we're going to add in a couple teaspoons of chopped chives. And I'm just going to give that a stir, get all those chunks mixed in. Look at all the great colors we're building here. Then to that, to start making our corn fritter batter, we have a little bit of flour, 2/3 of a cup. Some cornstarch will help make it really crispy. Salt, pepper, and then we're going to beat up a couple of fresh BC eggs. Speaking of BC eggs, I want you to check out bcegg.com because there's a ton of great videos there and a whole bunch of cool recipes. And our milk. Then taking our spoon, we're just going to mix all this together until you have a smooth but chunky batter. Now you want it to be thick. You don't want it to be running all over the place, but you don't want it to be too thick. Just stick to the measurements of the recipe and you should be fine. So we're just going to set that aside. We're going to take a 10-inch skillet. I like to use cast iron because it holds the heat really well. It's going to help keep your oil temperature nice and hot. The hotter your oil is, the less oil is going to soak into these fritters, and that means the less greasy your fritters are going to be. You want nice hot oil, medium heat. Let's let the pan heat up for about a minute, then we're going to add our oil. Okay, 1/2 cup of canola oil going in. Now remember, you want this oil nice and hot, but not too hot, so we're still using that medium heat. And I'm just going to put on a timer for 5 minutes. Next, let's make our dipping sauce. We're going to go for a nice Chipotle Mayonnaise. Little acid in there, a little sweet to balance it out, but it's going to be a really great complement to these corn fritters, but still keeping in that Southwestern style. Starting off with 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and to that, just a couple teaspoons of liquid honey, okay? Liquid honey is better than solid honey because you can incorporate it through something like this a lot faster. Next, our chipotle pepper. So you can find chipotle peppers in a can, similar to this. It'll always say chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. What I do, once I open this can, you're gonna find about 6 to 8 peppers in this can. You obviously don't need all of them. Once I open a can, I use what I need, then I put the rest in a zippered bag, smooth it out in the freezer, let them freeze individually inside that bag. And then anytime I need one, I just take one of those frozen peppers out of that bag and let it thaw, and I just use that. So 1.5 teaspoons is approximately 1 medium-sized chipotle pepper. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but a chipotle pepper, all it is just a smoked jalapeno. You get lots of nice smoky heat, very complex. We're gonna add that to our mayonnaise. So the sweetness in there will balance the heat, but we also need to balance the sweetness. So we're gonna go for about a teaspoon of lime juice. To that, a little bit of salt, and there's our dipping sauce. Give it a good stir. You wanna make sure all those flavors are incorporated really, really well. Okay, time to do our fritter. So what I take is a standard size soup spoon, and I just heap it, and then carefully, remember that's hot oil, just put in the hot oil, okay? And we're gonna do 4 at a time so we're not crowding our pan. Crowding your pan is gonna reduce the temperature of the oil really quickly. And you want enough oil to go around the fritters to brown them really nice. So I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes, but what we're really looking for in these is just for them to be golden brown on the one side before we flip them. Your estimation of 3 minutes is exactly that, just an approximation, to help you get a guideline as to how long on each side to fry these. But your goal is having them golden brown on both sides. Once they're golden brown on both sides, we're gonna take them out and let them drain on some paper towel. All right, let's have a look. Beautiful, look at that nice golden brown. And you can see when you're turning them, they're solid on the one side. They're obviously still wet on the top, but they're solid, allowing you to take it and easily flip them over. So just do that with all 4 of them. And again, being very careful. Get them back in the oil like that and do another 3 minutes. All right, let's have a look at the second side. Beautiful, nice and brown. So let's take these out and let's drain them now on some paper towel. You want them rustic shaped like that. You don't want them all perfect and oval or round. You want to make them look homemade and rustic. So 4 at a time. We've done 4, we'll do 4 more, and then 4 more again will give us 12. All right, let's grab a couple of these and just show you how to plate them. 2 for a serving. Put them on a plate like that. Take some of your Chipotle mayo and just sort of cascade it off the front a little bit, like so, and let your guests go at it. And there you have it. Southwestern corn fritters, brought to you by BC Egg and Chef Dez. Check out the website, bcegg.com. Where are you getting your protein from?